Hi everyone, I'm Montana Ray. I'm a certified sommelier here in Denver, Colorado. What we have here are 3 different Malbecs. They're all from Argentina, they're all from Mendoza, but they're from a little bit different areas of Mendoza and they're in different styles. So this is one of my favorite ways to taste single variety wines is side by side. So if you're in the mood, I recommend pulling all 3 of the corks or 2 corks and 1 screw cap at once, putting them into 3 glasses and tasting them all side by side. So it really lets you kind of learn something different about the wines each time you explore a different one, and you can kind of taste back and forth and see what kind of style you like the most. So the first wine that we have here with the orange label, this is Bodini. For me, this was the lightest of the 3 tonight. So I tasted through all of them, let them sit here for a little while in my glass so that they could open up, and then I went and did a little bit of yard work and came back, and now they're like really nicely integrated. So I recommend pouring a little bit into your glass, set it aside, give it 15 or 20 minutes, and then come back and start smelling and tasting again. So wine number 1, your Bodini. Then we have Areyna from the Areyna winery, and finishing with La Posta. So the Bodini is coming from the Luján de Cuyo region it's a sub-region of Mendoza. And this is made by a fantastic female winemaker named Jimena Lopez. Jimena is an incredible winemaker. She makes another brand called Grafito, and she consults in a lot of really interesting winemaking projects out of Argentina. And I just love working with her wines because in Argentina, it's really not all that common to have a woman winemaker in general, and we actually have 2 really amazing female producers in this lineup, so super cool. Something that you guys might find interesting about Bodini is that seeing as we're in Colorado and we're used to the beautiful Rockies and getting up there and skiing, etc., the irrigation for the grapes in this wine is 100% snowmelt from the Andes. So Mendoza, the vineyards are really high altitude, higher than anywhere else in the world. And all of the water, they don't irrigate at all of it comes from snowmelt from the Andes. So something really interesting. When you taste this wine, you get like some kind of light strawberry flavors. This is a great introduction to the evening wine, really fun to have while you're cooking dinner, or just like as a cocktail wine. These days are getting warmer, so it's kind of on the lighter side of the spectrum, but it's also perfect next to the campfire, or maybe out on the front porch with a blanket in your lap, kind of perfect for these like warm days and cooler nights. Tasting it. Just easy to drink. This would be so great with like a slice of aged cheddar. If you did want to have a little morsel of food with it, really perfect and hard to mess up. You could also totally have it by itself. The next wine is the Areyna Malbec. This comes from the Areyna winery. This is a really cool project because it's super innovative for Argentina. Malbec originally comes from France, but you mostly see it out of Argentina right these days. And they were a little like behind the times, and then all of a sudden really caught up as Malbec production really caught fire. So since the year 2000, Malbec production in Argentina has actually increased 250%. And you know, just like anything, you have really great things that are coming out of the region, really great producers, and then things that aren't as great. And this is such an innovative winery. It's so cool to see such a pure expression of fruit. They age this wine and vinify it in concrete vats. So there's no oak on this. It's super clean expression of just the fruit flavors. And the other really cool thing about this is that it's 100% estate fruit, which you'll see that on labels around the world. It means that all of the grapes that are in the wine come from the property where the winery is located. And this is cool because if you have like a really big brand and the producer needs to keep a house style for that brand, it's usually necessary to source fruit from all over a region to kind of blend it together and then really make that wine that everybody is expecting. With the Areyna, for a bottle of wine at this price, to have it be 100% estate fruit is pretty cool. So highly recommend that. And honestly, I was a little torn about whether to do the Bodini or the Areyna first. I kind of waffled there. So you could do that one as like a cocktail wine too, or with like charcuterie, some like dried cured meats. So perfect. That little bit of fat with the acidity. I thought this one had a little bit more acid than the first wine. For me, that's just that like sensation of pooling saliva in the sides of the tongue and the underneath the tongue. And then the last wine that I have here is the La Posta Pizzella. And the Pizzella is such a cool story, the La Posta brand in general. This is our second amazing female vintner, Laura Catena, who's very famous in Argentina, very famous in general in the winemaking world. She's a 4th generation vintner, and she initiated the La Posta project. La Posta is like a tavern in Argentina, and the Pizzella is the last name of an Italian family. So in the La Posta line, there's 4 wines, and each of them has the last name of an Italian family. So they immigrated to Argentina and started making their wines there out of Malbec, as opposed to a lot of the Italian varieties that their families might have been used to. And La Posta is all about just like enjoyment of time spent with friends and family, eating food, delicious food, days spent out barbecuing, grilling, putting like a beautiful asado on the grill for the whole entire day while the family sits around and drinks and enjoys together. And for me, this was definitely like the most full-bodied and significant like spice and darker fruit, blackberry and plum of the lineup. So like I really recommend some kind of a delicious meaty, like a little bit of fat on the meat dish with this. Like burgers would even be so good, or anything with like a chili rub. Delicious. So I hope you enjoy the lineup. I recommend opening the bottles, taste them all, come back to them, explore and see what you like. Pull yourself a bottle of French Malbec if you want to explore the variety even more. There's some amazing Malbec coming out of Washington State if you want to try something from the United States. Taste that against these, and just the more you compare things side by side, the easier it is to kind of tell what you really enjoy the most. Thank you so much. Cheers.